Broadcasting live, 2K Sports presents the NBA. It's Monday night. With Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony and Allie LaForce on our sideline, I'm Kevin Harlan. And the Eastern Conference has been fun to watch. A lot of focus as always this year. And as we hit the mid-season surge, let's check out the standings and how they're shaping up. Taking a look at Cleveland. They're in the middle at 5th in the conference, looking to build in the wins as the season goes on. And checking out Orlando, 3 spots below.
Checking out Cleveland.
They're in good shape in the standings with the postseason on the horizon. Maybe a notch below where we thought they'd be.
Yeah, and it's time for them to change their mindset a little bit. Start showing a little more urgency and get some momentum going before it gets too late in the season.
A look at the Magic starting group. Down low, it's Banchero and Carter. Running out on the wings, they'll have Bane and Wagner.
Welcome.
Suggs in at the 1 spot. And for the Cavaliers, the rim protectors standing tall for him, Mobley and Allen. Donovan Mitchell is out there with Sam Merrill. And it's Tyson in at the small forward position. Now Mitchell. After the missed 3 from Desmond Bane. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed.
Look, he's the kind of player that has you awake at 3 a.m. asking yourself, how do I stop that?
And for such a young team, Greg, pretty impressive how well the Magic defend.
And that's their identity. They are elite at that end of the floor, and they force turnovers at a really high clip.
Suggs against Mitchell. Here's Wagner with the 3. That's good, and it's Banchero with the assist.
Something Wagner continues to work on. It's huge when he's connecting from outside.
Here's Mitchell. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup. Mitchell's got his 2nd bucket of the night.
Well, you can't fault the defense. The guy made a difficult shot.
Outside, Suggs. No one near Banchero as he lets it go. Off target from 3-point range. Let's check in now with our Allie LaForce, who's got a story for us. Allie?
Hey there, I was able to talk with Kenny Atkinson for a minute. Coach and I talked about the development of Franz Wagner since entering this league. And he said he was someone we watched early on. Even though he didn't end up on our team, the way he's added to his game is incredible. It says a lot about the kind of work ethic that he has. Kevin?
Allie, thank you so much.
Yeah, Bane is a talented scorer. Not just a perimeter threat, he's also capable of finishing inside.
Now, here's Mitchell. In the game against Orlando, very impressive. The shot no good, Tyson. Suggs with the ball. Now defended by Mitchell. And it's Banchero missing. Cleveland's gone 0-2 from deep here. Pass to Mitchell. Here's Tyson. Now here's Mobley. 4 on the shot clock. Mitchell's shot is good. Mitchell's got 6. We're about 3 minutes into this first quarter. Mitchell against Suggs. And Suggs throws it down.
Get up, Jalen Suggs. This guy also a terrific football player in high school.
Here's Mobley. Can't tie it up as that one's no good. Orlando leading by 3. Bane passes to Suggs. And it's in there. 6 points for Jalen Suggs. And as the NBA season rolls on, GA, what's one of the biggest challenges this time of the schedule?
I'd say maintaining your level. It's so hard to be consistent throughout the season, and it's really about the mental side of the game. It's so tough to stay locked in.
And so the timeout by Jamal Mosley here. He's ready to talk things through with them. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
Rough game defensively. I mean, they lost a lot of the individual matchups, and the help was slow to rotate.
And being slow on your rotations is a killer. There's not a team in the league that won't punish you for that.
Here's what Orlando's going with right now. De Silva's checked in, and it's Anthony Black in for Jalen Suggs. Here's Black. Covered by Mitchell. Here's De Silva. Drops in the tray.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
Now Mitchell. 8 points for him. From the arc. Offensive rebound. And stolen by Wagner. To the wing on the left. There's a minute 34 left here in the first quarter. Back the pass to Wagner. And here's Banchero. Misses the three.
Doesn't register as a block, but he did everything you want defending that shot.
Well, you know, sometimes the most pivotal plays don't always go on the stat sheet.
And Wagner has it in the corner. Off target from outside. Carter with the bucket. And look at how the hustle game has been going for the Magic.
Well, so far they've done a great job of reading the offense and repeatedly putting
A dynamic leaper with an impressive wingspan. Mitchell usually has some flashy dunks up his sleeve.
That's a great look at that move from the Connected Cam, sponsored by AT&T. There's 47 seconds left to play here in the first. Wagner on the wing. He's defended by Merrill. Just 5 to shoot. The Magic need to get a shot off here. No good from outside. Got the defender off his feet with the pump fake, but couldn't knock it down. Good. Nice job down low. Mitchell's got 12.
Well, even though they're struggling, his solo efforts on offense have really been something.
Black with it. He's coming off a 16-point game against Cleveland.
Well, and he was also doing a great job feeding his teammates. Racking up the assists. So important to team chemistry.
And that does it for the first quarter. Magic lead by 4. And will return shortly. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Magic?
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
Yeah, they dictated the pace to this point, looking to run at every opportunity.
On the court for Orlando, they've got Anthony Black. He's out there with Desmond Bain, and it's Bitadze. Position. Bitadze is screen on ball. And a wide open look for Bain. Tried to come right back with a 3 of his own. It's no good. So Stan, I'll ask you, what about Desmond Bain stands out to you the most?
Kevin, I would say what stands out the most is how this guy has improved and added to his offensive game. Came into the league as basically a shooter, but now he has added playmaking and shot creation to his game. He can put the ball on the floor, take it to the basket and finish, or set up his teammates.
Bain against Ball. Shoots. Bain, no good.
Well, that one should be in his wheelhouse, but just off the mark.
Porter dishes to Hunter. 3-pointer. No good on that one. Orlando trailing here. And let's go to the sideline. Here's Allen.
Hey, well, Desmond Bain, a deadly floor spacer, but he said, I have to be respected in a lot of different ways. Don't pigeonhole me into just being a catch-and-shoot guy or a movement shooter. I can score the ball in a variety of ways and do multiple things on the court. Back to you guys.
A lot for sure in his bag. Hey, Allie, thank you very much for the report. And timeout call by Kenny Atkinson. He's going to take this chance to talk to his guy. Cavaliers, Tyson's checked in. And it's Sam Merrill in for Lonzo Ball. And the Magic making a change here. Mitchell against Suggs. Takes a three. And there's Mitchell. That's good on the assist by Hunter. Mitchell's got the lead up to 3 now for the Cavs. Here's Suggs. Payne for 3. His shot is good. Scores his 3rd basket in 6 tries. Shooting 50%.
Well, obviously, Bane has the range for this shot. He's not put off by shooting from the corner.
Suggs against Mitchell. A 3, Hunter. Rebound by the Magic. Their last encounter was in Orlando.
Yeah, and their last time out against this club, turnovers really did them in. Just way too many mistakes.
Yeah, taking care of the ball has to be their #1 priority. But they also have to stay aggressive. You have to strike a good balance.
Franz Wagner's checked in for Black. And Bane drops them both. And Greg, everyone talks about the importance of basketball IQ. Can you win in the NBA with a low IQ team?
Boy, it would be tough. I mean, there's a reason younger teams typically don't win at the highest level. But you need to take those lumps and get that experience and learn from those lessons.
Pass to Banchero. From outside, off the mark. And it's Mitchell with the ball for the Cavaliers. They covered this one, having outplayed the Magic last game.
Yeah, they were able to maintain focus in a hostile environment, and that led to taking shots that made sense.
Well, and it's one thing to get the shots you want. It's another to make them. They've got good scorers on this team.
Merrill passes to Wade. Mitchell against Suggs. Got a piece of it.
Well, Suggs is an elite on-ball defender. We don't see a lot of blocks by a guard.
Not sure why he keeps trying his luck for deep here. It's just not his night.
Mitchell with it. Defended now by Wagner. Mitchell powering through contact.
Keep getting him the ball. He's been a huge part of this offense.
The Magic trail by 4. And so the timeout by Jamal Mosley here. Coach is going to talk some things over with the team. Might be seeing something to adjust. Allen's checked in for Cleveland. Mobley comes in for DeAndre Hunter. The Magic also changing it up. De Silva's checked in, and Black's subbed in for Bane. Cleveland on defense. Pass to Wagner. Left side Suggs. Here's Black from past the arc. Rebounded by Allen. Allen's got rebound number 5 here tonight.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
For 3, Mitchell. It's Mitchell with the train.
And after not making any threes in the first half, he now has 2 here in the second half. Let's see if he continue to add to that.
Black, no good. Cleveland leading by 7. Over in the corner, Allen. Merrill passes to Mobley. Cleveland moving it around. And here's Mitchell from the arc. And another 3 for Cleveland.
And don't look now, but they're starting to extend this lead.
Well, look, we've seen that no lead is safe these days. You got to keep scoring and extending that margin.
Back to Suggs. Pass to Wagner. Looking to end the run. And it's Suggs missing.
And I like the bold move of going right back at him to return the 3, but he just couldn't get it to the
For 3, Mitchell. Good on the 3-point shot. Mitchell's got 30.
And guys, we know Mitchell can fill it up in a hurry, which is what makes him so much fun to watch.
Oh, power flush with a long hang on the rim at the end of that.
That could be a catalyst for him. It really could. Oh, Mitchell's so good inside.
Another good play. This is how they built the lead, calling on the right guy at the right time.
Yeah, come on. They're just having their way out there and continuing to press the advantage.
Donovan Mitchell firing on all cylinders for the Cavaliers. They kept going to him again and again, and he delivered with a monster quarter. We'll get right back to the action when we return.
Hello and good evening. We are seeing Donovan Mitchell putting in work. Such a consistent offensive force.
I'm trying to think of someone as powerful and explosive as Donovan Mitchell. Let me think about this. D-Wade, that comes to mind. That's a guy that he can mimic his game after, or vice versa.
I'm glad you mentioned Wade there, Kenny. For a second, I thought you were going to compare him to yourself.
Ooh.
And there's more NBA action in store for us tonight. Here are the games tipping off later. Out in Boston, it'll be the Celtics against the Trailblazers. That one gets started at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
I'm predicting a somewhat lopsided outcome, just saying.
And that is it for halftime.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. It's been one outstanding game from Donovan Mitchell.
The burst he's had when going at the rim has been fantastic. A lot of strong finishes through 2 quarters.
Well, when you've got a player with the energy and athleticism he has, it can make for a big night when he gets it going.
The big men on the floor for him, Mobley and Allen. Sam Merrill out there with Mitchell. And it's Tyson in at the 3. That's the group starting the second half for Kenny Atkinson. Allen's shot is off.
Oh, this is exactly the kind of opportunity you don't want to waste.
Back to Wagner. And he uses the glass on the layup. Wagner's got the first points of the second half here for the Magic.
Yeah, and showing some force inside. Wagner making sure he gets his.
Yeah, really strong offensive thrust there, but then how about the defense able to negate that attack?
Cleveland shooting their initial free throws of the game right here.
And as a unit, they're shooting 78% from the line. That's a solid number to work with on the season.
And Mitchell drops them both.
Yeah, great effort tonight, and he's been rewarded with trips to the line.
Banchero outside. Pass to Wagner. Outside, Suggs. Back to Wagner. This one for 3. Shot is good, and the Cavaliers lead cut down now to just 10 on the basket from Bane.
You can't play lax defense on Bane because he's looking to shoot as soon as he catches it.
For 3, Mitchell. Mitchell comes back with a 3 at the other end.
Well, he's been nothing short of fantastic this game, and he has his team in a great spot as this thing winds down.
Suggs passes to Bane. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Bane's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Well, they're behind, but it's certainly not because of him. He's doing everything he can. He just needs more help from his teammates.
And here's Mitchell from the arc. Another 3 for Cleveland.
Yeah, that's back-to-back threes. The D just seems to be slacking off a little bit.
Right now, let's take a moment here to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sidelines.
Thanks a lot, guys. The Magic building up a roster of players who D-up. Coach Jamal Mosley said, your culture is the type of guys you bring in, the type of people you have around. If you're a defensive team, then you probably have defensive guys. You can't be that and have all shooters that don't defend. Kevin?
Yeah, you're right. They've got great personnel. Thanks a lot, Allie. Here's Suggs. The 3. Mobley with the rebound.
Well, after 3 straight makes, that's their first miss of that.
Over to the wing. Here's Tyson. Another 3 for Cleveland.
And guys, there are some you can give that shot to, but let's be clear, he's not one of them. Terrible job there by the D.
Count it, and the Cavalier lead has been cut down to 14 points again thanks to the basket from Wagner.
Boy, they've been terrific from beyond here in the second.
And it's Mitchell with the jam.
Again, it's Donovan Mitchell with a huge night. One of the premier players in our league.
Orlando's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. To the left wing. No one near Suggs as he lets it go. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Pass to Miro. There's the triple. Another 3 for Cleveland.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Now, here's Bane.
Watch the pick.
And there's the call on Evan Mobley. That is his first foul of the game. Cavaliers making a switch here. Porter's checked in, and a switcher also for Orlando. Black's checked in for Suggs. Banchero inside. Mobley's there. Shot clock at 3. 18 feet out. Banchero, that's good. Banchero's got his first bucket in this one.
Oh, good to see that Banchero has options if he can't penetrate. Your game has to be multifaceted in the league.
Here's Mobley. Buries it from three-point range. Mobley's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. 1:58 left in the third.
Right here, baby.
Wagner looking it over. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Well, at 6'10", GA, Franz Wagner provides great versatility to this offense.
Yeah, and he's a solid decision maker, capable of running the show. He's a gifted scorer and playmaker. Plus, he provides matchup problems with that size.
And the Cavaliers making a change here. Hunter's checked in.
Well, look, I really appreciate how Franz Wagner does a little of everything. Along with plenty of scoring, he's a multi-dimensional player.
Banchero outside. Pass to Carter. Here's Black. The Magic again can't hit. The Cavaliers leading by 18. Near the three-point line, it's Porter off target from the wing.
And I'm sure next time he sits down, coach is going to have a few choice words for him with that shot selection.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't the shot they were looking for. You got to keep the ball moving in that situation.
Launches it. Connects from three-point range. Porter's got 6.
Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
Back up top.
Athletic finish right there by Black. I like when he goes up strong like this.
And a good-looking view of that throwdown from the AT&T Connected Cam. Hunter, 3. Another 3 for Cleveland.
12 straight points off of three-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Out left of the wing. Hunter against Banchero. Back to Bane. There's Wagner with the 3. They get it back. And then Carter with the dunk.
That's why you never quit battling on the offensive glass.
And that's a nice reward for his effort. The flush. Perfect.
Well, that's what he does. He makes an impact with his activity on the board.
And so it's Cleveland cruising into the quarter break with a 22-point lead. The three-point shooting has come fast and furious to the tune of what has become a big-time blowout in progress. And we'll be right back after this. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
Well, that was an absolute masterpiece of an assist. He knew exactly when to deliver the ball, and it made for a beautiful score.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first 3 quarters. So on the floor for Orlando, they've got Goga Batadze. Jalen Suggs is out there with Anthony Black. Then it's Paolo Banchero. And it's De Silva in at the 3 slot. For 3, Hunter. Good, and the assist goes to Mitchell.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
They set the screen. And a beautiful finish by Suggs.
And when you look at Suggs' numbers, here's a guy who has really improved his shooting.
Mitchell right side. Only one man back on D. Tough to finish it off. A beauty.
And his competitiveness showing through. That's an aggressive finish.
Yeah, and getting out in transition allows for some easy points before that defense is really set.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
An unorganized defense like that is not going to help them close this deficit.
And we've got a timeout called by Jamal Mosley. He has decided it's the right time to talk. Evan Mobley's checked in for the Cavaliers. And Orlando has possession. And it's Banchero missing.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Mobley. And the shot goes down.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Well, he led him with the pass there, almost like a quarterback timing a route. That was impressive.
Wade on the wing. The 3. Banchero grabs the board. The Magic trail by 20. Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the 4th. Here's Black. There's the drive. Outside, Suggs. And it's off from three-point range. Cleveland's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the 4th. Here's Wade. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up.
And you want more of this from Mitchell. Good to see him moving the ball like that.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for Cleveland.
Well, their passing has been just exceptional, and it's opened up the floor for them on numerous occasions.
And we also got to talk about the damage they've done inside. The opposition having a hard time keeping that ball out of the paint.
Well, he's been more confident shooting it since the half. Let's see if that trend continues.
For the 3, that's good from Wade on the assist by Mitchell. Mitchell's got 6 assists here tonight.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Look, when the 3 is falling like this, there's not a whole lot you can do defensively.
And you think about the balance of power between the conferences. How about this, Greg? In the last 26 years, there have only been 3 Eastern Conference teams favored to win the NBA Finals.
2011 Heat, the 2013 Heat, and then the 2024 Boston Celtics. So for those arguing for top 16 seeding in the playoffs, this might be your go-to stat.
Outside, Bane. Off target with his 3.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
That one drops for him.
Huge night for him. I love how he's searching for his shot attempt, trying to carry them to the finish line.
Kicks it out to Wagner. Bounce pass from Banchero. Fires the 3, and there's the 3.
And as we see Suggs develop his game, you'll see more of this. Jalen with the ability to operate off ball.
And Kenny Atkinson calls timeout here. And he wants to see some changes out there right away and right now. The Cavaliers leading by 18. Mitchell. It's Mitchell with the jam.
And one of Mitchell's great attributes, strength and explosiveness at the rim.
Outside, Bane. The 3 from Banchero. Rebounded by Donovan Mitchell.
Well, you can tell he thinks he should have had that one. Even harder on him when he's got a good look like that and it doesn't go down.
Allen, that's good.
And Allen's a competitor. He knows what his job is, and he has to be a major presence inside. He has to have the ability to score points down low.
Pass to Carter. Here's Suggs. That one falls, coming off Carter's feed. Suggs has got 19 points.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority. Very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for Cleveland.
This was a very efficient offense tonight.
And they found a way to get their shots to go down. A little luck didn't hurt. A lot of their 50-50 shots fell their way.
And now on the year, this will take them to 28 wins.
And once the horn sounds, they're going to go up 2-0 in the season series.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Donovan Mitchell.
Well, as a coach, it's so fun to watch a player dominate the game offensively like he did in this one.
From deep. And it's Orlando with the rebound. Outside, Suggs. Wagner wide open. Buries the deep ball. They're making this a runaway.
And the only question for me right now is just how big the lead will eventually become.
Count that bucket.
And you know they feel good giving their fans a show here while taking care of business.
Yep, the crowd gets to go home feeling good about the win tonight. Their team looked impressive.
Bain sets the screen for Suggs. Mobley fires. And so it's Cleveland taking care of business in this one. It was a tale of two teams tonight. One that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
I mean, the energy here is just so tremendous. Fans involved from the get-go. And once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see that rhythm and flow from their perspective.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. And for all of us here at the table, Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony and our terrific sideline reporter, Allie LaForce, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us tonight. And as we leave you, we give you our player of the game, Donovan Mitchell.
Happy Monday, everyone. This evening, we bring you the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Brian Anderson, and joining me at the table, Richard Jefferson and Grant Hill. We've also got Allie LaForce bringing us reports. Here's a look at some stats for Trey Jones.
And over the last 5 games, his field goal percentage has increased. And you can make a case his confidence as well because of this.
So let's take a look at the Los Angeles Lakers starting lineup. They've got DeAndre Ayton. Luka Doncic is out there with Marcus Smart. Then there's LeBron James. And it's LaRavia in at the 3, small forward. And one thing that's fun to watch when Josh Giddey grabs a defensive rebound and goes coast to coast, RJ.
Yeah, that's when he is at his best. Ball is in his hand. Out in space, playing with speed.
Here's Doncic. Chicago making their last shot. Back to LaRavia. 4-3. Drops in the three.
Hey, good to get him going right away. I mean, those are the shots that really boost confidence.
It makes a difference for them if he can establish his three-point shot as a weapon.
James attacking. And slam dunk by James.
And James is terrifying on the drive, especially when you give him a launching pad.
We played just over a minute here in the first. Outside White. Okoro outside. Inside. And there's White. That's good on the assist by Okoro. White's got his second basket.
Just taking it right to the rim, and no one was there to greet him.
Easy possessions like that literally are just a gift. You just dream of them. He'll gladly take those. When he has enough space, he's more than comfortable letting it fly from outside.
Here's Giddey. And it's LaRavia with a rebound.
See, that miss right there, it's why teams try to avoid the mid-range jumper these days.
Shot's good by James.
Wow, now this is how you want to start your games. Flawless shooting so far.
Outside White. No good on the three. And here are the Lakers. They've gone on a 10-2 run, not allowing much. Good on the bucket.
I just love the ball movement.
The Bulls have gone 3 of 6 from the floor. Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
I caught up with head coach Billy Donovan. Before long, we were talking about LeBron James, and he said, he's a focus for us tonight, absolutely. Coach shared, saying in clutch situations, we're ready to double James and be assertive. But I'm sure he knows that. LeBron, as always, on the minds of the opposition. Back to you.
Allie, thank you. Here's Giddey. And once again, off the mark by Chicago. Los Angeles leading by 8. LaRavia passes to James. Puts up a three. Sinks the tray. James has got 9. 2 teams tonight trying to elevate to mid-season form, Grant, and really start to push to control each game.
And that gets more and more difficult as fatigue mounts. The travel miles climb and games just tighten up. But you know, BA, you just got to push through all of that and keep playing your best ball.
To the inside. And Okoro gets it to go.
And they may have talked about shot selection coming into this.
Here's Doncic. Coming off a solid outing against Dallas. LaRavia outside. There's the three. That one falls. Great setup by Doncic. Doncic has got his 4th assist in this one.
Getting out to a nice lead. Great flow and great execution.
Now here's Okoro. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game.
Ooh, that's a tough break. After poor communication defensively, it leaves him all by himself.
Doncic's shot is good.
You can't help but look toward their defense. They're totally lost.
Things just don't seem to be clicking for them offensively.
Yeah, they really need to find a way to get back on track.
Hayes is checked in for the Lakers. Hachimura comes in for LaRavia. Here's Buzelis. He's defended by Hayes. The Lakers lead by 14. All right, on the line, we've got our insider, Shams Charania. What do you have for us, Shams?
Thanks. Well, it took a while this summer, but the Bulls were finally able to get an extension done with their bright young point guard, Josh Giddey. In a buyer's market, they could afford to bargain for a team-friendly deal. And after some overreaches in the past, their disciplined approach stands out.
A good strategy. Thank you, Shams. And the basket by Hachimura.
The assist numbers certainly stand out. They've really emphasized ball movement here today.
Pass to Vucevic. Giddey against Doncic. Will it go? Ooh, and a nice layup by Giddey.
And so much fight in Josh Giddey. He showed it on the interior that time.
Doncic passes to Ayton. Hachimura from long range. And Los Angeles, another three.
And they've got the D reeling. A full three-point attack right off the tip.
Here's Giddey. The kick out to White. Three-pointer off the mark. The Lakers lead by 18. Smart finds Doncic. Now here's Hachimura. Guarded by Okoro. Smart outside. Here's Doncic. And the layup is good off the glass. Doncic has got his third bucket of the night.
So far, they're owning both ends of the floor. We'll see if they can keep this going.
They came out and bum rushed them. Huge difference in activity level from both teams tonight.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Vucevic gets the bucket.
Big man Vooch showing some quickness on that release.
Pass to Hachimura. Here's Ayton, covered by Vucevic. With 2 seconds left. And it's finished off by Ayton as he lays it in.
They've shown so much energy right from the start, particularly on the offensive end.
They came out swinging, really setting the tone on offense, and the opposition has not been able to respond.
And so it's the Los Angeles Lakers, up 19 points as the quarter comes to a close. And their three-point shooting, a big reason they have a sizable lead. We'll be right back with you shortly. We welcome you back to second quarter action. Plenty of basketball left to play, but this one has been one-sided so far. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Lakers.
They've really been dialed in from deep. This is a team that has a ton of confidence in their outside shooting ability.
And another thing, they found the open man. Really playing unselfish basketball, moving the ball around there on the perimeter.
We've got Kevin Huerter. Williams is out there with Ayo Dosunmu. Then it's Trey Jones. And it's Smith in at the 5. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls. Now here's Dosunmu. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Pass to Vincent. Here's Hayes. Always a nice way to start. Makes his first one.
Nice ball movement there. That's how you break down the defense.
A challenging stretch here for Chicago. Outside Jones. With the step back. Here's Huerter. Hammered home.
And he's playing the game with a certain flair right now.
Oh, he caps off the move with a little hang time on the rim. We've talked about this before. Rhythm is so important to a jump shooter. Take Kevin Huerter, for example, RJ.
Yeah, Kevin is a great example. His ability to be shifty, to create a few dribbles before launching, that's the key to his game, and not everyone has it.
Now here's Huerter, coming off a 12-point game. Rebounded by Kleber.
With the defense absent, that was a great opportunity, but no go.
Back to Hayes. Nice ball movement by Los Angeles. James. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Opportunity for a three-point play here.
Timeout, timeout. You want to know why they're winning? It's because of his play offensively.
And he's got his first opportunity at the line here tonight. Some changes for Chicago. Okoro is checked in for Dosunmu. White comes in for Huerter. And it's Josh Giddey in for Jones. And then for Los Angeles, Smart comes in for Hachimura. And Doncic has subbed in for Vincent. If you had to say, Richard, what's the most critical component for a team to play effective defense?
I would say being bought in. If players are bought in, you could overcome individual deficiencies.
And the Lakers have possession. Chicago making their last shot. The Lakers with another miss. Puts up the 8-footer. The Lakers with a rebound.
Most nights this shot would have been his, but the defender gave him just enough trouble.
And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
Thanks, Brian. Luka Doncic has studied LeBron James' game for a long time, and now they're teammates. Luka said, "It's a dream come true. I always look up to him. I think we both make our teams better. Our IQ is very high. Just having two guys like that on the court helps the whole team out." Guys?
Quite a tandem. Okay, Allie, thanks for the report. Here's Giddey, following the three-pointer by Los Angeles. White can't hit. Smart against White to the paint. Over Okoro. And there's James on the assist from Smart. James has got 11 here in the quarter alone.
Yeah, he's been having his way this quarter, attacking the basket and protecting their lead.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over. Bruce Ellis is checked in for Williams. And the 2K leaderboard showing us the assist leaders over the last month. Second, Luka Doncic.
His teammates trust that if they get open, he will find them. They're really in a groove right now.
And here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. Richard, it's hard to believe, but this is already LeBron's 8th season with the Lakers.
Yeah, surpassing his first 7 seasons with the Cavs. And look, this is his longest consecutive streak with one team. And he's got a championship to show for it.
And that one's good. James.
They're really working the paint now.
And Giddey has got the ball here for Chicago. Coming into this, having notched to win against Boston in their last game.
Talk about strong offensive production. They went out, played to their strengths, and were successful as a result.
And no team is going to shoot 50% every night, but this team has the right approach. When the shots are falling, they can light it up.
And there's the foul. It's on Jackson Hayes. That's his first foul of the game. Vucevic, he's checked in for Chicago. Ayton, he's checked in for Los Angeles. LaRavia comes in for Kleber. The teardrop, and he's headed to the line for 2. He gets the whistle there.
And at 6'10", Buzelis is becoming a very difficult cover for defenses, especially when he's aggressive and trying to score.
And Richard, the Bulls going from playing one of the slowest paces in the league to one of the fastest.
Yeah, that's what happens when you start to trend towards youth. You got to put those young legs to use, trying to pace and space with three-point shooting.
Kleber, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Here's Ayton. Chicago with a rebound. Giddey passes to Vucevic. And here's Giddey.